Hey guys, how y'all doing? Well, I wanted to share with you guys about how to make sprouts because it's one of those things that it's actually super easy and inexpensive to do. And I'll just show you like how I just did it, is that you don't need any kind of fancy devices or procedures to do it. All you really need is your beans or lentils and some kind of containers, and you need to be able to rinse things like a strainer, and yeah, it's just space. So I didn't have a lot of space in my house to store the stuff, so I used my oven. So you can find an oven, you can find a cupboard that maybe you're not using, or it has like space in it for sprouting, anything like that, just somewhere where it can be dark. So what you'll need is beans or lentils, a strainer, some kind of container like a pan, a glass, and a place to store your sprouts. The other thing that is can be supportive if you want to go crazy and you want to spend money is that you can get like a mason jar with a lid on it that is for sprouting, or you can get a sprouting plates. There's actually like boxes you can buy on the internet for sprouting, and or you can get cheesecloth and or mesh screen that you can cut and put it around on top of containers. That is also would also be helpful and useful, but not needed. And I'm going to show you how I did it to prove that it's possible, especially with mung beans. Why do I love sprouts is because food with prana is life force energy, is the food that makes us feel the best. We feel more awake, more alert. It has so much energy, it has the sun energy in it, so it's nicer and easier to digest. And it just, we are able to absorb all these nutrients that these plants haven't absorbed. And so that's very, very special. Like when you're eating food that isn't fresh food, that is fake food, is like, it has like a dull quality to it. When we're eating fresh fruits and vegetables, all those nutrients and the energy and that life force is coming to us and is increasing our life force. Also, so the why do you want to eat sprouts, or how does it taste? Or they taste just like crunchy freshness. I can't really explain. They're like most sprouts have similar qualities to the beans that they have. So the bean is sweet, for example, like the mung beans. Mung beans are sweet, so they also have a quality of a sweet taste. And it's just more like, it's not really like good or bad. It doesn't have that much flavor. I mean, I would say more on the good side, but it doesn't have like a whole bunch of flavor, but they're very crunchy and they're very fun to eat. So you can add them to, for example, if you have like a bowl of soup and you want that crunchy stuff, but you don't want to eat crackers because you don't want to have like that gluten or like that stale old flour or the preservatives or anything like that stuff that's coming along with the crackers, but you want to have the crunch and you're used to the crunch, then you can take a handful of sprouts and put those and then eat it, and then you still have a crunch while you're eating your soup. Or you can put it on top of salads, or you can put it in a sandwich, or you can put it in a burrito, or you can just put it on top of your curries. You can just, yeah, you just mix it in with things. You can saute them as well, so you can have them just completely fresh. You can saute them so they're a little bit easier to eat and just so still crunchy, but slightly cooked. Those are the two ways I would eat the sprouts. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna walk you through of how I sprouted sprouts in 8 days. Also, so it takes about 3 to 5 days for things to sprout normally, and depending on the climate that you're in. So for example, I'm in Mexico right now. It is hot out here, so these sprouts, they like a warm temperature. So if you keep your sprouts in a warmer area in your house, they will probably grow a little bit quicker. And also you want to keep them dark because we are growing them just like how they would grow in the earth. The earth would be warm and dark, and that's how we want to have our sprouts. Now, the very last step of the sprouts, if you want to leave them in the sun, like get some sun exposure for some hours so that they can turn a little bit more green, that's a chlorophyll action happening, and that is also very healthy for us. And so I would recommend to do that. But if you don't have time, or it's not, you're in the winter months and there's not that much sun, then you can just eat them without having to put them in the sun first. But just some different options that you guys can play around with. The main thing is that you want to rinse your sprouts twice a day, at least once a day. I think it depends on the container that you have, where you are, whatever other bacteria is around. If you use glass containers, like I was only rinsing my sprouts once a day, and I've never had an issue with bacteria. On the internet they say rinse twice a day. Also, I guess if you rinse twice a day, at least you're having a chance to check it and to give them water again, because you also want to make sure that you wash off the bacteria, but also that they're getting a drink of water, because they are growing off of just the water. Their food is the water right now. And then if you were putting these seeds into the ground, they'd have the nutrients from the soil. But these guys are getting just the nutrients from the water and from the air, which is crazy. So I hope that you enjoy this process. Let me know how it goes. The other reason why I think that sprouting is such a great thing is not just because it's so healthy, but they're they have a price when you buy them from the store. Like, they're not cheap. And also, a lot of times you don't know how fresh they are in the store, so maybe you get like a bunch, but then like in a day or two they're not fresh anymore, and they have a risk of like giving you a, I don't know, like bacteria, like they smell, so then you can obviously get like some kind of digestive issues from them. These are like you're in control of, like, you know how many days they are. Once you sprout them, then I mean, they say that you can keep them in the fridge like 3 to 5 days. So yeah, I guess just like keep rinsing them and keeping them in like a glass container would be my recommendation to store them, and I'm sure that they'll last you for that week. The other thing about sprouts that I think is really cool is that no matter where you live, if you live, like for example, if you live down in Coronach, Saskatchewan, and you're working at Overhaul, and you can't get to the grocery store in time, so you don't have any fresh stuff, but you can grow your own sprouts. Like, it's super easy, you know. You just need about 5 minutes a day to rinse the water, and then, you know, like 5 days you have some fresh stuff. So, or you know, like my parents live up in Turtle Lake. It's they're like 45 minutes away from a grocery store, and the groceries are quite expensive, but having fresh food in your daily diet is so important. So you can just grow your own sprouts. It's super easy, inexpensive, and then you have fresh food. And sprouts are more easier to digest. And some of the ways you can eat your sprouts is that, yeah, again, I say you can put them with your soups, on your sandwiches, on your salads. Also, you can just have a sprout salad. You put lemon juice and salt on them, and I don't know, I throw in some seeds. You can throw in some other vegetables, and super yummy, super yummy. So, okay, well, I hope that you enjoy sprouting. Please try it, because it's cool. It's cool, and it's also cool to have a little bit of the relationship with the plant that you're doing, and you kind of start to, like, you know, like I don't want to like throw out a single sprout, because it's like, oh, this is like life force. And when you eat that, you almost start, I mean, this is me, because I'm also don't eat that much meat. It's like when I eat the sprout, I almost feel bad because I'm eating its potential to become a plant, but I'm grateful for it. And that grateful energy that I have when I eat in this food is because I have a connection with the food, and I realize what it is and the miracle that it is, that it was from a dormant seed that I soaked, and from that soak became the potential, and I'm eating that potential, and I'm eating that energy, and I asking that energy to come into my body so that I can do good things with that energy. And so that is how, when I'm eating food, actually eating food is one of the most sacred things that you can do. Just think about it. It's just like wherever that food came from, I mean, I saw this one video with a strawberry, so I use like a strawberry for example. Like a strawberry, you know, it came from a seed, and either the seed was put there by a man or put there naturally. Maybe a bird dropped it on into the soil. Then the strawberries grew. Usually it's like a farmer is growing the strawberries, or as a wild strawberry patch, and then someone goes and cultivates or picks the strawberries, and then they bring it to the market, and then you know you go and you buy the strawberry from the market, and you bring it home, and then you eat it, and then that energy, so that seed that was grown by the miracle of its life, and that the divine energy and the Mother Earth had given it the nutrients for it to grow and to be a beautiful strawberry, and then all the different hands and different energy that, you know, like someone had to like drive to the patch and like and then take their energy and their time to pick those strawberries and take to the store, and the person had to like do all the process of getting it ready for the store and then put it into the shelves, and then somebody, you know, had to go buy it. There's like a lot of energy involved in this process of eating this strawberry. And so you want to like be, not want to, you get to be grateful for the strawberry, for the food that you're eating, and how much effort and energy, divine energy from all these divine creatures that was, and universal energies that was put into this process of the food. So and some of my teachers were saying, like, when you're eating this food, you know, you're eating this energy, but you're also like, this energy is the stars, it's dinosaurs, it's everything, because energy is always constantly just moving around. Beans, 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 crazy for the beans. So that is my germination. That's day 1. It was like it was like yesterday morning I soaked this. Now it's Wednesday morning, and I'll show you guys on Thursday morning how big they get. And yeah, I'm kind of experimenting with this as well. I have soaked beans, or I have sprouted things before in my mason jars, but in this pans and in plates, I've never done this method before. So I'm just, hopefully it works out. The other thing I'm going to be doing is I have this like spray bottle, so they're clean. I've never had anything in them before, so I'm putting in drinkable water, and I'm just going to spray all these beans because I already had them through the strainer, so they're kind of dry and like it's warm here. And actually, I think I don't know, just intuitively, I think that probably doing this process maybe at night would be better, because then it's dark, so they would stay more in that. I mean, if they're like growing and like we're pretending they're in the dark, or they're in the ground, maybe it'd be nicer to do this at nighttime. So I might come back and just visit them tonight and keep doing that at nighttime. So let's see here. So I spray that, and then I'm going to cover it with a tea towel so that it keeps it more dark. And then I'm just keeping everything in the oven because it's a good place that's kind of safe from. What are you going to be using the oven today, these next days? Like, there's recommendations of the best things to use when you're doing things, but sometimes you don't have that, and you just gotta be creative. So I don't have a tea towel that's big enough for my pan, so I use a black t-shirt. I don't have a cheesecloth, so I'm just going to be using a tea towel, and I'm just like rigged it on here with a twist tie. And you just do your best. Well, we'll see. If these germinate, I'll be saying here, yeah, just do your best. You're so curious, kitty. Okay. So it's a bit weird looking, but that's what it is. Let's see what happens tomorrow or tonight. I don't know, maybe I should wait another 24 hours and just keep doing it in the morning. If they're still sprouting, it means that it doesn't matter if they go into some sunlight. This isn't dark in here, so I might put some more tea towels in the front here just to make sure that it's all closed up. But okay, day 2, let's check it out. Got some stuff here happening. Cool. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this is day 2 of the sprouting, and so I'm going to just rinse these out. and then I guess put them back because it all seems like they're working. So everything worked in all the different contraptions, and we'll see, like, as we go forward, we'll see how this works. So, like, for example, like a pan, everybody has a pan. Everybody has like a muffin pan. Well, if you can, and you can get them everywhere secondhand. They're super cheap. No one's making muffins anymore. And jars, containers. This thing was cool, but did it make it work any better than anything else? Not necessarily. This actually worked pretty good. Look how long that is. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these guys also have the roots coming. Sweet. So we should have lots to choose from. And this is day 4. So this is the process. I showed you guys in the oven how they look, but what I do in between is I take the beans and I put them in water, rinse them, and then I just rinse them a few times because they do have like a little bit of odor, kind of like, I guess, a bacteria smell, or like, you know, kind of like, yeah, just like not the best smell. That means that they need to be rinsed. So I just rinse them a few times, and then I drain them out, and then I shake them in the strainer. And then I've also been using just a tea towel before I put them back in their containers, just to kind of give them a little down, or like a little wipe down, because I think it's like the extra water that increases the potential for that bacteria smell. I think that they'll have like enough water on them. I'm gonna give them a little spray with my clean drinking water that's purified, and this I'm just rinsing in regular water. But I feel like all the vegetables and fruits and stuff that I get and that they just grow in regular water, so what's the difference, right? I will be eating these too. I'm going to plant some of them, but there's so many that I'm going to have a lot to eat. But also, this is a huge project. I'm like, right now I'm thinking like maybe I should go and like plant other ones, like plant other beans and have them like at my shop, have them in my yard, but since this is my first time doing this, I don't want to get too excited. I know that they want sandy, kind of sandy soil and a lot of sun, so that would be perfect in the future out by the river, out where I have my palapa and dry toilet. I have a property out there that I want to grow stuff on, and I have this dream of growing mung beans. That would be super badass. Like, if I could grow my own mung beans, turmeric, ginger, garlic, spinach, that's pretty much it. If I could have avocados, I don't know if avocados grow here or not, but that would be the best. That would be completely self-sustainable. And I could grow bacopa. Bacopa actually grows in Oaxaca. So yeah, so I'm just going to get out some more extra water here. I don't want any extra of that water sitting around. Then this one here, I mean, I'm just doing this makeshift. I don't know, like, I don't know if I should be guiding anybody, but if this is working, it's working, and it shows that whatever you got, I just have an elastic band and a tea towel, a clean tea towel. It doesn't have to be a fancy tea towel. And then I'm gonna store it on the side. But what I also realized though is that this cup, this one, the mung beans were like, they're thicker. The sprouts are thicker than the other ones, so it's in a dark cup, and it's black inside. So I was kind of thinking that I wanted to put something black around this and have an experiment to see if these will get thicker. So I'm gonna do that actually. Maybe I'll have to go get another black t-shirt to get that color of black. And yeah, so that's that. So you take it out, you rinse it in a bowl of water, and then get all the water out in the strainer, and then put it back into the container and put it back into wherever you're storing it. So this takes me about 15 minutes, 30 minutes each morning. And so when you're doing these kind of projects, that's what I came on here to say, is that this is all easy and I love it, and you probably like love it too. It's nice to like actually be learning about how these things are sprouting, and also it's super cool like that, you know, I eat these beans every day, and you think about it as the bean, but you forget about it as the potential for life. You forget about that it's actually a living thing. So when people say like, when you, you forget that it's potential for life. So that's like, when you eat these things, you get this life force energy, or prana. Now, I think that when you do cook things, you obviously do alter that life force, but that's why sprouting things are amazing, because if I was to eat this now, I almost feel like bad, because it's like, it's a baby, you know, it's like this beautiful plant that's gonna grow, and it has potential to grow into a whole mung plant, and then I would just eat it and like eat hundreds of them in a day. So, but the thing is, yeah. Okay, this is kind of, I'm gonna just chew on this thought for a second. When you really get sensitive into what you're eating and what you're doing, you are eating the potential of that thing to becoming a tree or becoming something else. And you're taking that energy and that potential within yourself, and then you can be the potential. So we're all connected, and high vibrational things, whether you're a high vibrational plant or high vibrational person, is high vibrational, and I think there's certain frequencies in nature that we also have certain frequencies in our nature, because we are actually nature, and there's no difference between, like, we are nature. The only thing is that with our programming that we have, and I don't know if the programming is something that is like, I don't know what it's like when for the people the tribal people who are living in nature, and what they think and what their manifestation of life is. Because there are some tribes that have not been touched by and indoctrinated. But for example, like me, I was born into society, and so I had the society worldview. It taught me everything. It taught me the names for things. It taught me the vibrations for things. It taught me how to think. It taught me how to, how I can express myself. It also taught me that there's doctors that you go to when you're sick, that you have to hold your bladder because you have to listen to a lecture, that you have to prepare yourself and study hard so that you can pass a test while by yourself. Like, it's just like there's different ways that I was taught to think and do. And also my relationship with food, I never really thought about my food in the sacred way that I think about now. So, but isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Like these like little beans, look at how fat that is. It really wants to become a plant. And if he doesn't become a plant, then I am going to eat it gratefully. And that's a huge thing, is when you're eating, okay, I won't even say like I'll just talk about myself. When I eat, I notice that my digestion is stronger when, I'll just take that out of the shot. I notice that my digestion is stronger when I am grateful and present with my food. Doesn't mean that I'm not talking at all. Actually, I feel like I'm fine on the go. In Ayurveda, we say you should sit down, concentrate on your food. In human design, there's different people. Depending on who you are, you might have different places that are better for you to eat around people, eating cold food. There's different things. So that was very interesting because I kind of agree with that. But obviously in Ayurveda, when they're saying like sit down and eat your food, it's really helpful for most people, especially with creating that consciousness of what you're doing. If you actually sit down and you're just like, say like 3 prayers or 3 breaths before your meal, give it some blessings, give it some gratitude from where it came from. You know, like this being here, I think this came from India. So imagine all the energy and all the work it took to come here, to be in my hand here in Mexico. So okay, day 4, I'm just heating up my oil. And let's check in on the sprouts. Yeah, there has been some growth. I've been like, good morning. Okay, today is day 6. And look at that, we got some real life happening here. I was gone for a couple of days on the weekend, and I had my mom keep watching these guys, and I'm going to show you guys now a little bit more about them. Cool, so yeah, day 6 of sprouting these sprouts. It smells good. So it was like coming out of the cup, like, and I had taken some of these out already and put them into another cup. But so yeah. Okay, so remember the last video I showed you they had kind of a couple little tiny. I don't know if I need some background here. A couple little tiny sprouts, and there they have like a lot of little sprouts. So yeah, look at all these guys. That's a lot. They look super great. I'm so happy that we got to see this process and they're doing good still. So now I just gotta give them all water again. Give them a little rinse. Give them some water. Put them back in the oven until tomorrow. And yeah, figure out how to plant that soil. Okay, so well, that's sprouting. So I grew these sprouts a little bit longer because I wanted to put them also into the garden, but you don't need to grow them until that they're so tall, until they have like the green leaves. You can, 3 to 5 days, just like when they're just like this long, that's good enough. And well, I hope that you enjoy the sprouts.